G'day battlers, and today we're going to be going over a partial recap of my Marsh Cup tournament on the weekend just gone. Unfortunately, I'm not able to show the full thing because I streamed it on Twitch and I wasn't able to download the full VOD properly from Twitch. I'm not really sure what was going on there, but we have the first two rounds to look at up against Not Ren Newman and Final Flash. So I'll have all of the teams and the link to the tournament in the description below, as well as the link to my Twitch channel if you want to give that a follow. You can even watch the VOD back of this tournament live, watch the full thing. I did end up going 3-2, but yeah, with that said, let's get into the battles. So going into round one up against Not Ren Newman, we're running Shiftry in the lead, and we go up against a lead of Alolan Mark. So we're kind of like, okay, this isn't that bad. And then it turned out that it was a Poison Jab Alolan Mark. And we were sitting here going, oh man, this is not good. We threw this Leaf Blade to try and give us some thinking time because we were not prepared for that at all. And it turns out that Not Ren Newman actually, this was an accident. They meant to have Snarl, but they just forgot to TM Poison Jab away. So you swap into our Alolan Mark to try and eat some of the energy. We do eat a Sludge Wave, which does do a lot of damage, but we can kind of tank it and at least didn't have to burn a shield. So they bring in a Azumarill and we're kind of like, okay, this isn't that bad. We've landed the Sludge Wave, which is pretty massive, but we need to land another Sludge Wave to be able to take this Azumarill out. We're kind of thinking, do we want to burn a shield to get another Sludge Wave off? We decide that we do want to. Shield with the Ice Beam, and we're definitely going to be able to get to another Sludge Wave before we go down. So we farm up some extra energy, hoping that our Mark isn't going to have too much health left remaining to farm. So we get that energy, throw the Sludge Wave, take out Azumarill, and then in comes back the opposing Alolan Mark, and unfortunately Poison Jabs us down before we're able to get a charge move off. Poison Jab's just so oppressive. Like, I don't think I've really seen people talking about it at all, but it can seriously do a lot of work, it seems. But we bring in Swampert. Swampert is a really good matchup up against that Alolan Mark. We don't shield, Dark Pulse comes through, does do a lot of damage, and in comes the Venusaur. So we're kind of in a rough spot here because we only have one shield to Venusaur's two shields, and because Venusaur has that shield advantage plus had that little bit of an energy advantage, we're really in a rough spot here. So we throw the Leaf Blade, really just trying to burn the shields off of Not Ren Newman here. It's kind of our one and only hope, and he doesn't burn the shield. So at this point it's like, yeah, GG's, we've lost here. There's nothing that we can do, I don't think. So further foul play, it does get shielded up, and then Venusaur just needs to throw a Frenzy Plant and we'll go down, and then in will come Swampert, and Swampert's just not going to be able to do much, especially because we have Earthquake on our Swampert. Earthquake, I think Earthquake is the better move in this cup, in my opinion, just because it kind of gives you those more, the Dark Poisons and the Spooder matchup. But going into round two, we have Alolan Muck versus Azumarill, and we both swap at the same time into a Sableye versus Alolan Muck matchup. So this is kind of better for Sableye than it would be if it was a Snarl Alolan Muck, because Snarl charges up energy way faster than Poison Jab. We don't really care about Poison Jab that much, so slowing down the rate at which Muck can get the charge moves off is just really good. So we've decided to burn the shield there, just keep Shadow Clawing away, throw another Foul Play. Foul Play doesn't do heaps of damage, but you know, it's kind of chipping away, and alongside the Shadow Claws is really like putting a massive hurt onto this Alolan Muck. So I think we decided to not shield here because we know we can tank a Dark Pulse and then hoping to Shadow Claw down, which we are just able to do, plus have energy to throw onto the next Pokemon. It is an Azumarill though, so unfortunately this isn't really going to do much at all. So just, you know, throw the Foul Play. Yeah, it tickles it, but you know, Azumarill technically has less health than when it started, so that is all right. So we bring in Shiftry, and Shiftry would be in a really good spot there, except for that fact that Azumarill did have the energy advantage. So we're kind of like, okay, how do we want to play around this? Maybe we'll throw a Foul Play on the Shiftry. We do end up getting a shield from that Venusaur, and then we swap out into Alolan Muck straight away. So I think the logic was that I wanted to not eat any energy onto the Shiftry from the Venusaur, but that kind of put us in a spot where Shiftry has like a massive energy deficit when compared to Azumarill now. So I think that was probably the wrong play. I guess there's also the chance that we could maybe like get a Sludge Wave off from Alolan Muck into Azumarill as well. So like there's potential ways to go. We decided to just shield up there. Presumably for that exact reason. Not Ren Newman does swap into the Azumarill, so we're like, alright, here we are, we can throw the Sludge Wave, but it's kind of just leaving our Shiftry in the back to deal with Venusaur. And Shiftry isn't really going to do that great there, so we're like, okay, switch time is up, we can swap into Shiftry and like let Azumarill use its energy up on here. But now, like, we only have a very low health Alolan Mark, so it's like, oh, we really needed to snarl down there, and we just weren't able to do it either. So maybe if we snarled down the Azumarill successfully, and then we're able to throw energy on the Venusaur, like, we might have taken it out, but it was definitely rough. So we have lost this first round here, which I guess I've already spoiled it that we do win the next round. So this is battle 3 of the round, though, and we're looking really good here. We've got Swampert locked in up against the Alolan Mark. Really good matchup for us. Throwing that Hydro Cannon just to put as much pressure onto this Alolan Mark as possible. We know we saw before that we can tank any charge move from the Alolan Muck, so let the Dark Pulse come through, and then we are going to be able to get to a Hydro Cannon before Alolan Muck can get to a charge move. Not really sure about the Poison Jab count, so we ended up just going for the Hydro Cannon a little bit early. Like, we still got a little bit of extra energy, but we probably could have waited even longer. So in comes the Azumarill, and we don't have Sludge Wave, but we have not shown this Earthquake to Not Running Human, so we're really hoping to burn a shield here with this Mystery Charge move. It doesn't shield, but Earthquake still does a massive chunk of damage, which is really nice. And we've got Alolan Marowak in the back, so we're obviously not going to bring Alolan Marowak into Azumarill, and we are running that Shadow Bone Alolan Marowak, so definitely going to see how we can do with that here. Burn a shield with the Leaf Blade, burn a shield here because we don't want Shiftry to go down. We want Shiftry to take out this Azumarill. It's 1-to-1 shields. We know that Shiftry can farm up energy way faster. And now in comes the Venusaur. We have that Fire Spin, Alolan Marowak hanging out in the back, waiting for this exact matchup. So I think I went into this matchup like saying in the Twitch stream, like, yeah, I'm going to just... We've lost the first two. We're going to hard predict this one, and our prediction ended up being exactly right. So we kind of in a bit of a rough spot because that Frenzy Plant like almost took us out. So we're kind of like, oh, do we have to shield here? But no, we hung on to our guts. We knew that we didn't have to. Through the Shadow Bone, which does masses of damage, taking out that Venusaur. In comes Azumarill, gets 2 bubbles of energy on us, and we've pretty much got 2 Leaf Blades here in the Shiftry now. The Azumarill only has 1 shield left, so the first Leaf Blade will burn the shield, and then the second Leaf Blade, which we needed 1 more Snarl, but the second Leaf Blade will take out the Azumarill. And even if Azumarill got the energy off, like through the charge move, we still had 1 shield, so we would have been alright there. So that is GG's. We would go 2-1 in round 1. So going into round 2 up against Final Flash, Alolan Marowak versus Gastrodon. So this is obviously not a good matchup at all. We did not want to see that. A little bit of a Twitch like bump there, but we've swapped into Sableye and they've swapped into Galvantula. In the 2v2 shield, as I went over in my Galvantula video, which will be linked at the end of the video, the 2v2 shield is like really weird, and it depends on when exactly you get your Shadow Claws in. So we did pretty well then getting like an extra Shadow Claw kind of in, not letting any more Volt Switches come through, get the Foul Play off, and Final Flash actually doesn't shield, which means we're able to Shadow Claw down before that charge move just comes through. Like, he would have had the energy there ready to go, but yeah, just really lucky there we were able to take it out. In comes the Gastrodon, and this isn't really great for us. Foul Play isn't going to do heaps of damage, and Gastrodon's just kind of going to get free energy on our Sableye, but it does do a nice little chunk. We get Gastrodon down to half health, which isn't a laughing matter. Obviously not going to bring Alolan Marowak in here, so we're going to bring in the Swampert. Bit of weak connection, that's all good. But Swampert versus Gastrodon, we're going to let these charge moves come through. Even if it was an Earth Power, we still would have been able to tank 1. And in comes the Ferrothorn. So we're like, hello, Alolan Marowak, coming back to the rescue. A little bit of lag there on the Ferrothorn side. Might have whisked a Bullet Seed or 2, but this, I don't think it really would have mattered. Alolan Marowak is... Actually, I think I let him get a Bullet Seed there off to try and even up a little bit more. But yeah, pretty solid matchup for Alolan Marowak to be in regardless. Throw the Bone Club just to kind of weaken down the Ferrothorn a little bit more, and then 1 more Fire Spin, take it out, and then in comes the Gastrodon, throwing the Shadow Bone. We've seen how much Shadow Bone can do against that Venusaur, and Bada gets shielded. Never mind, we're not going to see how well it does there. We were trying to go for another Shadow Bone, and we actually just got to it, but unfortunately we clicked the Bone Club first, so... yeah, we could have got the Shadow Bone off. We just didn't think we were going to be able to. In comes the Gastrodon, and we're kind of going, have we just lost this? Because like we didn't click the charge move. We didn't click the right charge move. Shield up the Earth Power successfully. 1 more Mud Shot, and we get to the Hydro Cannon, and this is going to take out the Gastrodon, and that is GG's on game 1 of round 2. So, going into game 2 of round 2, I think I might have just said it wrong then, but we catch the same terrible lead. We've played out of this once before, so let's try and do it. We've run the same lineups, and we've got the exact same swap out, so we'll see if it goes our way. Every time Sableye goes up against Galvantula, we're going to be a little bit worried about how it's going to go. That lunge comes through, and we throw the Foul Play straight away, not letting another Volt Switch sneak through. So Foul Play gets shielded, so we're into the 1v1 shield. If he shields this next Foul Play, then we might have to make some decisions about where things go. We actually do sneak in an extra Shadow Claw there, which is absolutely brutal, like against that Galvantula. Like it kind of makes the matchup, as long as we don't lose a Shadow Claw or let an extra Volt Switch come through, it means that we should win the 2v2 shield. We should get this Foul Play before Galvantula can get a charge move off. Looks like there maybe might have been like a little bit of a jump there, a little bit of energy, not too sure, but we do get the Foul Play off to take out that Galvantula, and now we're going to have switch advantage. We're not going to have to bring our Alolan Marowak into this Gastrodon, which is absolutely huge. The big weakness to the Final Flash's team was really the fact that they didn't have a hard answer for that Sableye. So even knowing that we were going to switch into Sableye, we were kind of able to win that switch advantage. Again, it's a little bit dependent just because Galvantula versus Sableye isn't like a hard win/loss. We swap into that Alolan Marowak. Swampert is on like the thinnest margins of HP, so we're really hoping, like we're just hoping that we're going to be able to get that energy off on the Swampert when Gastrodon comes back in. But yeah, we're in this Marowak versus Ferrothorn now. Throw this Bone Club, which I'm not sure like if Bone Club is the better move to be throwing. Like we kind of wanted to keep energy so we could get a Shadow Bone up against the Gastrodon. We got scared there and cleared through the Bone Club like early, which I don't think we really needed to. I think like one more Fire Spin would be good. But in comes that Gastrodon, and we're going for the Shadow Bone, and we do get the Shadow Bones. This is going to do a nice little bit of damage. It's definitely not going to take it out. Gastrodon does have a bit of bulk to it. Another little bit of a twitch jump there, but we swap into Swampert and are not able to get the charge move off. Gastrodon's energy going off first, and that is GG's. If we got a single charge move off, we would have been fine, but unfortunately, just not how it played out. And we're going into the exact same matchup. A terrible lead, Marowak versus Gastrodon, swap into Sableye versus Galvantula, and we know that we can win this. We're going to win switch advantage as long as something doesn't go wrong. So shield up a lunge, and then we got a little bit worried there that we timed the Shadow Claws wrong. It's again, as I went over in that Galvantula video, it's a little bit like beyond my my skill level, but we throw the foul play here at the Galvantula. We're just really hoping that we are able to win this switch advantage, because if we don't win switch advantage, then we're in a very rough spot. But we're going to shield up another charge move, the lunge, and then we should get to this foul play before another charge move comes through. There was a little bit of lag there, and I was kind of going, oh, please let this go through, please let this go through, but it did end up going through. Going to take out the Galvantula, and then Gastrodon probably going to come back in, unless he's going to play it different. Because if he's going to play it different, then it could go different. In comes the Forretress. So Forretress is kind of still unfortunate for them, because it's still another bug steel type instead of a grass steel type. So Marowak is still going to just eat it up. So they bring in Forretress first and then swap into Gastrodon once our Marowak is out. But obviously we have Swampert just waiting to go. Have to tank an Earth Power there. So we're kind of going, ooh, is this a little rough? We're going to throw an Earthquake. It's not going to take out the Gastrodon, but it's going to be close. And we're not going to be able to get the Gastrodon down before he takes us out. So we're kind of going, oh no. Get 2 Mud Slaps off. We didn't get hit by an Earth Power, so that's huge. And we're kind of just going, okay. That Forretress could have a Rock Tomb. It could have an Earthquake. Rock Tomb is going to get quicker than Earthquake. If it gets the Earthquake, we get the defense drop on the Shadow Bone though. And that, I'm actually wondering if, did that call it? Like, is that what flips the matchup? Because if we didn't get that defense debuff, we wouldn't have been able to take out Forretress as quick. And I'm wondering if we would have been able to take that out. I'm not really sure there. I'm going to have to go look at the sims, and maybe I'll put an update in the pinned comment below. But with that said, thank you for watching, and congrats to Dr. Trotter, Darth Carlo, Ryan, Genjini, and Bukakinator for tying first in the tournament. It was hosted on the Aussie Twitch Amigos Discord, not subreddit. The link to the Discord will be in the description below as well. And yeah. And really janky Patreon image here, but thank you to my patrons. Time 9458, brajSF, -10, Yahwertle, SqeakyNL, charizardyong, and primativedoc. Cut off Squeaky's name a little bit. Oh, it's not even on there. Okay, never mind. And also, thanks to Sadie Poo for the Twitch mote, Rated44 Maze for the 5 gifted subs, primativedoc, Oscalicious, and Melgood, who is not on the official graphic, but it is, yeah, it's on there. Thank you to all of you for supporting on Twitch as well. And yeah, as I said on Twitter, I just couldn't figure out how to like get the full video. I'm not really sure why. Like the first hour and a half was fine. It was just the second hour and a half it like went on like a million times speed and then just went to like the first frame of the stream. I don't know, it was odd, but hopefully we can figure that out in the future. And also, as I also said on Twitter, probably just follow me on Twitter. Videos are going to be a little bit slow / non-existent for Marsh Cup, basically for the month of November, but I'm planning to do daily content maybe for December, so subscribe for that. It'll probably be on like YouTube and Twitch, so yeah, we'll see how we go. Follow me on Twitter for updates on that, I suppose. And yeah, okay, bye.